how the light is gonna blend, right? So you need to blend the light first, right? Like this, like that. Maybe I'm gonna add a little bit of the blue.
Me, Aryan.
Oh, Arden, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
where are you from?
I'm from India.
India. Nice. Okay. Were you here last class? Yeah, right?
Yes, I was there.
Okay, nice. And you didn't get to have review, right? Okay, so what is your project about? Can you tell us a little bit?
Uh, so I when you gave us the brief, I
Mm-hmm.
actually couldn't make a new thing about that because I didn't have much time.
Yeah, yeah.
I was being busy with college.
Mm-hmm.
So this was something that I was working on before. It was
Mm-hmm.
like a micro car for
Okay.
Audi for the future. So I thought
Howdy.
this could relate to the brief that was given
Mm-hmm.
for 2035. So
Yeah.
the concept behind this is that wheels are being phased out, and
Mm-hmm.
it's more like cars must float on the roads. So I thought about a new technology where uh, the car would float on the road by using a cushion of hot air, as the because
Mm.
the hot air it rises up, so it would make the car rise up and float on the road.
Okay. So have you seen any of this technology applied, uh, or not applied, but have you seen like technology of this nature on internet?
No, I haven't seen. It was just something in my mind.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, I think it's a humble concept. I think it's interesting. Because I've heard about making the cars float by electromagnetism and other things, but I haven't heard about cars floating with hot air. So
Could I jump in?
yeah, sure. Anyone can
I
jump
was
in. Yep.
I was going to say it sounds more like a hovercraft, if you know what that is.
Mm,
So yeah,
I
you
think
have
I'm
like a
familiar with
soft
it.
like rubber forces
Yeah.
air into it to slightly not levitate but hover off the floor.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, I think I've seen that. Is that jets doing that, or some of like advanced military type of technologies doing that?
I think majority of the time I've just seen it on like beaches or you can go on water. Like in Britain, there's a hovercraft that goes to a small island,
Ah,
so like a ship.
okay.
So
Okay. Yeah.
similar
Okay.
concept.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I think maybe you can put some of the images of the technology, the hovercraft could be, and it's most likely it.
Can I add something here?
Yeah. Just whenever you guys do sketches and you try to apply a new technology, just make sure, as I said, it doesn't have to be very specific, but just put an image like, okay, this is my inspiration, right? Or this is where my inspiration for my technology, right? And also you need to have an inspiration for your form languages, right? Like for example, the forms that I'm seeing right now, it looks more like I mean, it's nice because it's smooth, but the first impression, I'm not gonna lie, it looks like a computer mouse, right? That was my first impression on this type of design. Yes. So, which is not bad. I think it's cool, but um, yeah, I think you should have the inspiration images so we kind of know like what's going on, right?
Okay.
And how long did it take you to do the renders? Well, it's
Mm,
just
uh,
one. Yeah.
it's like the same render that I've shown.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Cool. Yeah. No, I think it looks good. for example, here, if I focus on this guy, if you want this thing to look a little bit more round, every time you have a background, you can make a selection, and you're going just to put a little bit of outer light, right? The backlight that is projecting from the background. So this is what I mean. I got soft brush, right? You pick color with in the Mac is option, and then it gives you this teardrop with this kind of like tool to pick the color here. The eyedrop type of thing. And then with the edge, you just go all the way like that, right?
Mm.
You're just gonna do it on the edge, right? You don't try to erase the sketch. Just like that.
Okay.
And this give you somehow it blends with the environment, right?
Yes.
Oh, just like from BISCOM standpoint, right? Oops. There you go. And then what you can do is maybe make a selection. Oops. Make a selection stroke, right? I don't know if you guys use this. And you just go a little bit lighter of what you are now. And maybe 3 points should be fine. Right? And you make a little bit of outlined, right? And now it looks a little bit more than that is like round, right?
Mm.
Maybe we can erase it a little bit here. Oops. Erase a little bit just to make it more thick to thin, right? And this make the whole thing that is round, right? So it's a little flat, little round. Just by doing those simple tricks, right? It looks rounder and it looks cleaner, right? And it's very similar of what's happening in the black and white ones, the with the black background, right? If I do it really quick here, I grab this guy. Make it big. Right? It's the same. You have to imagine what kind of light, studio light is hitting, right? The car. Because right now it's looking very dark and I can barely see the design. So now let's say if I have something like this, right? And it can be a cool car, right? Because it can look very nice because it's very clean. So, and especially for out as brand as a brand as Audi, yeah, you have to be a little cleaner. So does this make sense?
Yes.
Kun, make sense? Okay. You have Photoshop, by the way? Yeah, right. I assume you do. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, just do this in Photoshop, just with the edge, right? Just try to render on the very edge of the surface, right? You do this, right? Simple steps, right? Just do that. And then you're gonna make select, inverse, right? So it's gonna invert the selection and you can put a little bit of glow. Same on the edge. Like that. You see? And now it reads way better, right? Because you can read the whole shape. So this is the type of things that you can do when you're trying to make a render with black background. Okay. And then you
Okay.
make a little bit of the line here, erase it, right? You erase it a little bit, and that's it, right? And it looks way better. So just be careful with that. And even in the where the focal point is, right? For example, here, right? You always want to have a focal point in your design, right? So I see that your focal point might be around this area, right? So you grab the color that you have, and then maybe you put a little bit more emphasis in this area, right? Just like this, and maybe you go a little bit lighter, like this, right? And if you want to go even more, you just go very little like that, right? And then you have a focal point, right? Like most of your eye is gonna go through this area, right? And you can bleed a little bit of that light down here. Not too much, just a little bit, right? But that's it. You see? And that now compared to where it was, right? Here to here, right? You see that the design is popping already, right? Make it pop.
Yes.
Make it pop, make it look good, right? And for the logo, I would suggest that you go a little bit bigger, right? Because I can barely see the Audi logo. So, and I think on sketches like this, you want to show that it's an Audi, at least go probably like this, right? So at least I can see something, right? Because I wasn't being able to see anything until I zoom in, right?
Hmm.
And later on your explorations, you can also make some section lines, right? You know how to use pen tool?
Yeah.
Okay, so with pen tool, put some section lines, okay? Like let's say, at least if you have a line over here, another one over here, right? At least that communicates how the shape goes, right? Or if the shape is gonna go straight, or if the shape is just a break like that, or if you have a curvature like that. But you need to show how the shape works, okay?
Okay.
So, you have any questions? It's clear?
Is there anything that I can do to improve the reflection on this? I mean, it was the first time I tried to do reflections.
Yeah. I mean, I think it looks good. I mean, I don't think it's bad because also it's a very simple shape, right? It's not a complicated shape. So I think it's very understandable the way it is now. But definitely you can try. Probably you need to do this, okay? When you do reflections, for example, in this simple shape, you need to make first the light source, right? So let's say this is my light source. How the light is gonna blend, right? So you need to blend the light first, right? Like this. Like that. Maybe I'm gonna add a little bit of the blue. Right? And you see how you have sort of like a path, right? Let me put it on red. You have a padding here, right? Kind of, right? You see that but it's blended, just like that, right? So when you do a reflection, you want to sort of like follow that path. Let's say I'm gonna do something like this, and then I follow this path like that, right? And then I do something, oops, follow it like that, and then let's say you need to follow the shape somehow. Gonna make the selection. Make it like that. Okay, so selection, right? And what you can do is from here, you're just gonna make it glow a little bit more, okay? So, but it has to be from outside, right? So look what I'm doing now. I'm putting a little bit of light outside, right?
Omar, is it possible that you can put like section lines so I can understand the surface of it better?
Yeah. Yeah. You see, you can begin to do reflections like that, right? That's like beginning, right? Where you're gonna have
Right.
some light bleeding, right? Make sure it's the similar color. Do a little bit. Oops, my bad. Yeah, can put a little bit of light bleeding in here. The thing is, like, you're gonna create an edge of light, like this guy, right? You're gonna create an edge that follows the whole surface logic, right? And you can make sort of like a bubbles here, like that. And these
Now, how did you do
bubbles.
the bubble thing?
Oh, you're going to with lasso. That's what I do with lasso. You can do with anything, right? Well, let's say you have two bubbles like that, right? You can either
Yeah.
fully erase or you're just gonna slowly like half erase, maybe not everything, right? But
Oh,
you're gonna
okay.
try to play around with the bubbles and because the bubbles kind of like make the surface you kind of like follow what the surface is telling you, right?
Hmm.
So even here, like if you have that. So it's a reflections is a combination between edges and how the light bleeds, right? So just make
Yes.
sure the thing that the reason this is not perfectly working yet is because we have two different colors, right? We have this one and this one, right? So we have to have the same color, so it's a proper reflection, right? So,
Hmm.
but it's basically how it works, right? So let's say we got something here. Let me do another exercise here. I grab this material, right? I do this. And then I'm gonna grab this line. Brighter color. It should look like this, right? Same color and you have an edge. That's how that's how the reflections should work. Just like that. You need to have an edge and the material is the material is blending, the color is blending, right?
Hmm. Okay.
Right? Yeah. Just practice with that for now, and you're gonna see the difference, right? And then on the highlight, you're always gonna have like a dot like that, just to make it shinier, right?
Yes.
So, but yeah, practice with that for now, you see. And then we talk about it more next class, right?
Yes.
And with this guy, try to put edges, right? Edges like that, you see. Try to put the edges, and that helps, right? Make sure the edges are closer to where the color blends. So in here, there you go. It looks faster, looks like a reflection.
This is lasso tool, right?
Yeah, lasso tool, or it can be pen tool. But you just need
Pen
to
tool,
make
okay.
selection, right? You need to follow wherever your lighting is dictating. You're gonna follow it with an edge, right? That's what you do to make reflections. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, next class, well, I'm gonna set it at the end, but next class, when you guys show your designs, I wanna see at least, let's say 4 slides. It can be just images, or if you guys have access, to make a PDF or a PowerPoint. I guess you guys can make a PowerPoint. I think that'd be easier. If you guys make a PowerPoint, and you can go to Google Drive, and I think it's free if you make a Google account. I think Google has slides option, and you can just organize your stuff in slides, right? If you guys use Illustrator, okay, make it an Illustrator, but I just want to see more like a format type of project, so we can start adding structure, right? And we can start working as a proper portfolio piece, right? Rather than just sketches. And then I can show you guys how to make the proper layout, package, and many other things that you need to have for a portfolio. Yeah. Any questions on that? You guys be able to make it?
Yeah, should be fine.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Make a PowerPoint, Illustrator, however you want it, but just make a single format so we can go through the format. All right. Questions, Kun? All good?
It's Aryan.
Oh,
Yeah,
Aryan,
thank
Aryan.
you.
Sorry. Oh, Aryan. Okay. Cool. All right.
Yeah, thank you. Understood. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. Cool.